And we are back. Here I am, Fly Navarro, and today I am being joined by Captain Curtis De Silva. Curtis, how the hell are you?
I'm doing well, Fly. Thank you very much for asking. Happy to be here, joining you on your podcast.
Thank you
I've been
so much
following
for
it for a
joining
long
us
time
here,
now. It's
man.
pretty good. Thank you
Thank,
very much.
Here's the funny part. I've had a couple of people ask to get your dad back on the podcast. I'm like, I'm not getting his dad back on until I get you on. I,
Right? Because
I
did you do an interview with Frothy?
I
Did you
did
do
one
one with
with
him
him.
as yet?
I did do one with both him and Carrie Chen. That's why I asked you what I asked you. But I did one when we first started the podcast during COVID, and I can't remember how many I did. I did like 40 podcasts, but the timing was so different because podcasts were new. So I didn't have a lot of people listening. But the hardest part was getting people online. Nobody wanted to jump on. But now everybody's like, oh yeah, no, podcast. Hey, I'll be on your podcast. I'll be on your podcast. So I wanted to get you on here before I got your dad back on here. I want to get him back on. He's got a bunch of cool shit going on. He was down in Galapagos this year, and yeah, he's got a bunch of shit going on, and I want to get him on, but I wanted to get you on too because you're up and coming, man. Your age group is getting ready to replace all of us. We're getting old.
Well, I don't know what to say about that. You know, the older guys, they play a big role in sport fishing, as you know, with experience, especially
Ex
captains. So,
exactly. It's one of
a
the
lot of them
reasons.
will never be outphased. You know,
No,
you can't
but
outphase experience,
it's funny you say that. It's not that we outphase them. It's
Mm.
they get outphased by the people that are on the fringe of our community that don't do it for a living. Or they're new in the industry. Like a lot of those kids that are 18, 19 years old, like a couple of weeks ago, hasn't come out yet. I had a conversation with Peter Bristow. We did a podcast. Peter Bristow's 88 years old. There's a lot of young kids that don't know who Peter Bristow is, you
Right?
know?
Yeah.
So it's our responsibility with this podcast to not only get the young guys on here, but also the older guys, because it's the young guys that are, it's like, oh, I didn't realize that. It's like, yeah, it's guys like Peter Bristow and Charles Perry that did stuff so I can do the things that I did. And now you're doing those things. And now these young kids need to know. Man, these young kids, they're watching. Oh, yeah, well, Fly did this. I only did it because other motherfuckers did it before me, man.
For sure, yeah, we didn't make this stuff up, you know. We didn't pull it out of
No,
our hats, you know. A lot of wise men might have taught us this through their experience. And
exactly.
yeah, I
Exactly. Now,
thought
how old are you
talking about
now?
Peter Bristol. I'm 27. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
so you're
28
still,
in July.
yeah, listen, you're getting to be you're not one of the young guys, but you're getting to be at the most dangerous part of your career because at 27 to 35, man,
Mhm.
you got like 10 years of knowledge. You're learning how to run boats, and you've got that energy. You've got that energy to still push 250 days a year, 300 if you had to. So no, I mean you're at the very beginning of a prime age.
Yeah, and that might be, yeah, some of my qualities, being able to physically push harder in certain endeavors, for
Yeah.
sure.
So what were you going to say about Peter?
I've been seeing him at the boat yard a lot recently.
He was the
He's
first one to
doing
sign.
well for 88.
He was the first
He's
one to sign
doing
up for
well
the
for
World Cup
88. He
this
looks
year.
good.
He was. I'm so excited. The first entry into the World Cup this year was Peter Bristow.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
Dude, it was phenomenal. I
Yeah,
uh
yeah.
I didn't realize it until I talked to him. Oh no, we're already signed up. And I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, that's Peter.
That's awesome. Yeah, because he must be fishing the World Cup for 20 years now,
Oh
at
my God.
least.
I would say at least 20, if not longer. I mean, the World Cup now is 42 years old.
Yeah.
He's been in Madeira for I think 25.
Yeah, at least. He's been there in the
Yeah,
90s, since the 90s, yeah.
yeah. So I would say he's done it at least 20, 25 years. Before Madeira, he was in Micronesia. And before that, he was in Australia. Australia, we usually get one or it all depends on the weather. If the weather's
Mm.
good, we'll get one or two boats. If the weather's shitty, then we don't get anybody. They wait till the last minute, which I get it. Last year we had somebody goes, listen, I'm going fishing anyway. So as long as
Mm.
I can go fishing, we're going to sign up. I'm like, okay, we'll stand by. You just let me know if you have any issues or problems. You know, what people don't understand is when those guys start fishing in Australia, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon for me for us here on the
Right.
East Coast. So, yeah, on the third, I already got boats fishing, which is cool as shit, man.
Yeah, that's something. Yes, with the different time zones,
Oh, man.
of course. And then you guys finish in Hawaii.
Yeah, you guys are falling asleep unless you got a fish on the dock,
Yes, yep, yep, yep.
you know? So it's a long day for me, but it's okay. What I need is a good sponsorship by Café Bustelo. Uh,
Coffee, you like coffee?
Dude, not just coffee, Cuban coffee. I'm a Cuban
Uh,
coffee fanatic, dude.
that's lovely. Yeah, I
I,
enjoy coffee as well too.
oh man, first thing I
Uh,
do in the morning, no matter where I am in the world. Like I was just in Saudi Arabia for a couple of weeks, and I wake up in the morning, I have my Cuban coffee right in my hotel room. I bring everything with me. You know, there's certain things a man has to do,
right, yep, yep, yep. We
you
take a
know?
liking to certain things over years, acquire tastes.
Exactly.
Things that,
Exactly.
like 10 things you can't live without. One for you has to be a Cuban coffee.
Cuban coffee's one of those, man. Let me tell you, it used to be a point where I would take my Cuban coffee pot with me everywhere I went. Now it depends. I change it up depending on what country I'm in. I know when I went to Australia, all them boats on the reef are 50 hertz. They're not 60 hertz. I fried my Cuban coffee pot within the first morning. I'm like, ah. So I learned anything south of the equator, I can't bring my Cuban coffee pot.
So
Everything is 50
interesting,
hertz.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Stupid things. But like you said, there's certain things you got to have.
We run into that issue a lot with the American boats that come here.
Really?
Of course, because they carry a different electrical system than
What?
our 220-volt AC system that's standardized to Europe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's 220 where we're 220,
110.
we're 110, but we're 220 with two legs.
Right, yes.
They can bring in 220, but then it gets split. Whereas in Europe, they don't split it.
Whereas most of the appliances, though, would run on 110
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
AC current. Most of the
Exactly.
appliance, like your coffee pot,
It's
would
110,
be
yeah. You
110 oh, and the hertz, of course, as well,
exactly. The
yes.
Hertz is I know there's a couple places down island by you guys. And we should get into that so people when I say that, people understand what I mean by it. There's a couple islands, I think St. Lucia's 50 hertz, I think St. Martin is 50 hertz because it comes in from Europe.
Right, yep.
So, with that being said, let's talk about a little bit of history of Curtis De Silva. Your father, very well known in the fishing industry, Captain Frothy.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about your family history, where you're from, and how you got started into fishing.
Okay. Well, my father's Portuguese, but we've been living in Trinidad for maybe 3 generations before. My mother's Swedish. I was born in Sweden.
Were you really? I thought you were born in Trinity.
No, I was born in Sweden. Yeah, and I came back to there when I was 3 weeks old. They just went to Sweden to have me, so I get the
The Swedish
European
passport, the European passport.
and these types of stuff. Yes.
Okay, fair
Um,
enough.
so yeah, I grew up in Tobago. My father ran a very successful charter operation out of Tobago in the 90s, early 2000s. We had like three boats. We had a 31 Bertram, a 41 Custom, and a 30-foot center console, basically going out every day. Bear in mind, I'm a kid. I'm newborn to 15
Okay.
around these times, And yes, I grew up around charter fishing. My dad would do it every day. I wouldn't join him at those times. I go to school, but it was awesome just being around the boats and the boating environments on the weekends,
No, but you
you
got some,
know.
I'm assuming you got some time to spend on the boats as you were a kid. You go out with your dad on some days.
Oh yeah, we did tournaments and stuff like that with my dad, a
Okay.
bunch. So, we're pretty involved. We would do a lot of fishing when I was younger, but when you're a kid, you do school, you have friends, you do sports, you do other things
You're
as well too.
supposed to
So
do school.
yeah, of course, you're
You're,
pretty
you're
well
so,
around. Yeah.
I know I missed a lot of school to go fish.
As did I, as did I.
What, when,
Uh,
at what age was it when you first started spending more time on the charter boats?
on a charter boats, I would say maybe from the time I could work properly, like as a mate on a charter boat, maybe 14,
Okay.
15, and I'll do that. Maybe not full time, but on the weekends.
No, listen, you got to start somewhere.
But we would spend the summers here in Madeira. Since in Madeira, we'd get the summers off. So I'd
Okay.
come here to Madeira during the summer since I was 7 years old. We would come every summer.
Really?
Yeah, then I would basically live on the boats for that 3 months of the year.
The whole time. And what boat was your dad running back then?
So he bought Pesca Grossa in 2007.
Oh man, I forgot how young you are. I'm thinking, 1990s or something. No, 2007.
2007, yes.
Okay. And
I
you
would,
were,
I would have been 9 years old.
you fucking baby.
Yeah.
But listen, that's great. Were you helping him on the deck when you were that age?
Yeah, so the first season I remember, yeah, it was a lot of boat building. So I mean we got here and the boat was it's an old wood boat, so we're doing a bunch of work to the boat. I was just looking, Dad met some guys here, he brought some friends over. The first season was more or less just
Getting to know
figuring
the
it out.
island, getting to know the island.
Yeah, you get to know the island. Yeah, fixing up the boat, just establishing stuff.
Okay.
I think the next year James came. Must have been the next year. If it wasn't the first year, it was the second year.
James Roberts.
Yeah, James Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time with him and Dad fishing that year.
At 10 years
And
old.
yeah, 10. And then, I'd be here, spend 3 months here, fish a bunch. I won't go every day, maybe bear in mind. I'll take
Okay.
some days off because would our family come over and visit us.
And you'd stay on shore with your mom?
Yeah, with my mom and like my cousins would come over. My brother was here as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we would enjoy the island a lot during that time. So I wasn't like of course at 9 years old I wasn't a full-time mate, but I was getting to go on the boats, see what it's about,
You were learning.
you know. I was learning,
You were getting a
as
good
much as a
foundation.
9-year-old could. Yeah.
Now, let's
Yeah,
go back to Trinidad for a little bit. If you wouldn't mind, kind
for
of
sure.
talk a little bit about the fishing in Trinidad for people that aren't aware of it.
Okay. Okay. In terms of when you say fishing the
What were you fishing when you fished with your dad? I know certain things, but there's a lot of people that have never been to Trinidad. Like, I know when I wrote my book, I put the tarpon tournament, the Trinidad tarpon tournament. in my book
Yeah.
because you guys have incredible tarpon fishing. A lot of people don't know about that. So for people that have never been to Trinidad, um, describe it a little bit.
Okay. Well, it's the southernmost island in the Caribbean. Point to point from Venezuela at its closest point, Trinidad is just 7 miles away. Just so you
Very
can get a
close.
grasp of it. Yeah, very close. The fishing, I mean, the inshore stuff and the fly fishing stuff, my dad would know a bit more about that, you know. I learn more about the offshore stuff, when we go out on the boats and stuff.
Hmm.
We get a good run of like the smaller size blue marlin, averagely, with some big ones in the mix, a lot of
When
sailfish,
you say smaller, what are you calling smaller?
maybe like 100 to 250 pounds,
Okay.
you know? That'll be our average, like size blue marlin that might pop up, and they would be in small schools, bundles,
Yeah.
three, four, five, six of them. Whereas the bigger ones might be one off.
And you guys get some big
Yeah.
ones there.
Yeah, we do.
On
They got a
occasions, you got,
grander there.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, they do get some big ones. Yeah, not very often because I mean people don't really fish for that much off of Tobago.
yeah.
They have a lot of local fishermen. They don't really have many people sport fishing in that region. They don't have any charter boats operation. My brother right now operates a small center console boat
Okay.
out of Tobago, which is where I live. I live on a smaller island. So it's Trinidad and Tobago. It's two islands, one country. And we live on Tobago. And that's where the good pelagic fishing exists, because of the way the continental shelf is structured
Hmm.
there. It comes along Tobago, but it does not sway into Trinidad waters as much. Trinidad waters, they have a huge abundance of fish, but it wouldn't be the blue marlin sailfish tuna pelagic species as we would get off the continental shelf in Tobago
Okay.
in that
And
area.
what was your normal season like? What time of year would you see certain kind of fish?
So right now is actually probably, April, May, June, April, May,
Hmm.
probably some of the best months to fish there. I think it's next week. They have the Marlin Madness tournament there.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a annual event. And usually have maybe 50 to 6 day sport fishing boats attending. And it's not a money tournament. They'll have small prizes. It's more of a social gathering setting tournament.
Prestigious.
Um, yeah. So yeah, the people who are into fishing in the southern Caribbean region,
Hmm.
they would bring their boats from different islands, some from Barbados, Grenada, some as far as Jamaica or St. Lucia, would come down and fish these tournaments. Yeah, just for like, as you say, not hugely competitive, but
Yeah.
more as a social gathering and prestigious. Yes,
I've done the
it's an
Saint Mar
honorable thing to win one of these
No,
tournaments.
that's you get to show off on the island. I know I've done the Antigua tournament and I've done the St. Martin tournament, and it is a social gathering. Listen, when you're on
They're
island,
like cooking food up, and they
cooking
have the drinks
food,
coming out,
dancing, a lot of eating. Oh, St. Martin. One thing
music,
that's what I was going to say. During the St. Martin tournament, they tied it up with the music festival. So
right?
as soon as you get off the boats in the afternoon, there's live music all night long. It is incredible. It is
Live music.
live music, not none
I
of this
love live music.
DJ shit. There's a stage, there's people playing. No, it's great. And then you got all the food booths all over the place. No, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I love the atmosphere in a fishing tournament, and then all the guys are there, we're chatting it up, you know.
Yeah, you got to talk some shit. That's the best part. Listen,
Yeah,
when we're on the boats, we're competitive. When we get off, we want to talk some shit.
yep, yep, yep.
That's what that's one of the things I love. Whenever and all the years I spent in St. Thomas and the British Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, that was the best part is the shit talking, chatting it up. What'd you catch today? Oh, we were 3 for 5. Man, how'd you fuck two off?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because when we're out there fishing, we're working so hard on these boats. We're putting in so much energy, not just physically, but mentally. Mentally straining ourselves constantly throughout the day, 8 hours, 10 hours, sometimes, 12, 14. And it gets exhausting. So when we get off these boats, we want to unwind, we want to relax,
You want to
we
cut
want to not
loose.
have to use that thing so much.
That's the one
Yeah,
thing people don't realize when you're on the boat, especially when you're running the boat, the mental exhaustion, especially when there's a competition going on. It's like you're trying to make a decision before somebody else makes a good decision. It's
yes,
it's not just that you're trying to make all your decisions, but you're trying to make them as fast as possible. Instead
yes,
of,
yes, yes.
a non-tournament day where you're kind of like, oh, should I go here? Should I go there? Well, tide changes at this point. You don't want to wait for tide change now. You gotta, because most of these tournaments are, it's not just catching the fish, but a lot of times there's ties are broken on time. So you want to catch the fish before everybody else,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely. And yeah, yeah, it gets a lot, but of course there's so many different strategies that people go into these tournaments. I
What,
fish every day. I fish every day
uh-huh.
like
A
it's the
tournament.
4th of July. Like it's the
Exactly.
4th of not like it's the tournament,
Yeah, as you
you know?
should.
Exactly. That's the kind of effort and energy I put into it because, it is my hobby, but I do it full time for a living as well. So I really want to put all that energy into it.
As you should. And not just that, if you're constantly doing that, if you're constantly fishing like today is a tournament, what ends up happening is the day of the tournament, you're just fishing the way you fish every day. I think
Yeah,
it's
you can
crazy.
relieve yourself of a bit of that extra strain.
Yeah, you're
If,
just
when the situation is that way, yeah.
exactly as opposed to people, well, for the tournament, I want to change and do this. Why change? Now you have to think of a whole new process, a new strategy. Fish every single day the way you would in a tournament. Every single day.
Yep.
So yeah, I
Yep.
don't I don't get it where people start changing for the tournament. No, fish every day like it's a tournament and so that when it is tournament day and you have that winning fish on, you know what you're doing. You're not
Yeah, you
changing something.
perfected your strategy.
Yeah, if
Mm.
you practice like every single day is the Super Bowl, when you make it, you're just doing
No
the
pressure,
same
and
thing.
that's the thing, no pressure either. It's like pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how'd you do that? How did I do what? Well, that fish did this and this and this. It's like they always do this and this and this. That's how they do it. I
Yeah.
knew what he was going to do. You just go through that progression, and I see that mistake made by a lot of people where they want to do
Mm.
something different for the day of the tournament. It's like, man, you should fish every day like a tournament.
Yeah. If you wanted to do something different, you should have practiced it maybe a bit before so you could find that move because everything is finding your move. You have to find your strong
Exactly.
points on.
And listen, if you're going to
You
do
know?
it before the tournament, you might as well do it for 2 or 3 years before the tournament, not just a couple of days. fish
Right,
like you
perfect your
are.
move. Not just find your move, perfect your move.
Perfect it. Keep doing it
Yeah.
over and over and over till it's
So
muscle
you can't
memory.
mess it up. Yeah, you can,
Exactly.
literally can't. You can try to mess it up. You couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you've literally progressed yourself to that point that um your muscle and your brain is going to know what to do before you even think about it.
Yeah.
If you keep
Yeah.
doing it that way, if you pick up a bad habit, you're going to do that bad habit constantly. If you
Mhm.
pick up a good habit and you do it over and over and over again, when something changes, because everything changes, the fish could bite differently, it could be rough one day, it could be whatever. If you have the proper foundation of how you're going to do things, it shouldn't, it's not an issue. You know,
Yeah.
it's like always making sure your leaders are fine. There's no scuffs on it. It's not like, damn, it's tournament day. Was that the leader that had the scuff on it? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No, dude, pull that motherfucker out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't create new leaders just for the fucking tournament. They should be new leaders
Mm.
every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And for certain applications, of course, and I'm not talking about leaders. We're just talking about everything
In
in
general.
general. Yeah. But yeah, there are certain times that I would use brand new stuff during a tournament, depending on, I wouldn't use brand new 530 liters, the day of the World Cup, because it's my big gear, it's my heavy, strong gear, But when I'm light tackle fishing in the Caribbean for small billfish, when we get a bite with that equipment, we change the hooks, everything, every time,
Every time.
because it's just disposable, yeah.
Exactly. Now,
Yeah.
let's let and I know we're going to get into your Madeira stuff, but let's talk about how you normally fish when you're down in the islands. Your personal spread. If you're
My
running the boat, you're putting out what you want. What are you running?
That's a lovely question. That's a
Well,
great
thank you. I've
question.
been waiting all morning for it.
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, so I would run two dredges, you know.
Okay.
It could be like mud flap style. They have some really nice ones that are the ballyhoo strip.
Oh, the Mylar strips. Yeah, those are
The
nice.
my Those are very nice for the sailfish fishing, I find in particular. I would use the mud flaps more if I'm feeling a tuna, I mean, a marlin kind of environment.
Okay.
But yeah, basically two dredges, two flippy floppies from Squid Nation.
Okay. Bill Pino,
Definitely have
shout
to
out
be.
to Bill Pino.
Shout out to Bill Pito. Yeah. On, on two electric bridge teasers, it has to be,
Yeah.
electric bridge teasers. Far out, I like it. I like them. Far out on the riggers.
Okay.
The pulleys.
You like to spread your bridge teasers out.
Yeah,
Okay.
to high up on the riggers.
All right.
Um, for 230s behind it, just click down onto it for when they pull up on the chain. Just pop those out
On your flat lines?
on flat lines. So two flat lines, 30s. Um,
With what kind of bait?
naked ballyhoo
Okay.
has to be fresh, has to be local.
Has to be
Actually,
local.
has to be hand caught
Oh,
by net. Has to,
man.
preferably by me. Preferably has to be done myself.
You don't want any of them
I
imported
don't want,
ones. You don't want
I
no
actually don't
Venezuelan
want
ballyhoos. You want fucking
no.
local.
If I'm in Venezuela, I want Venezuelan ballyhoos. If I'm in Trinidad, I want Trinidad. If I'm in Tobago, I want Tobago ballyhoo. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
No, listen, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So my baits, I can go into my baits,
Well, let's
That's
go into your baits in a second. Once you finish your spread, I want people to know what your spread is.
yeah, spread. So we covered by so the dredges also have to be on LPs.
Yeah.
Has to
Okay.
be. gotta be on LPs because
Are you fishing on your LPs? Are you fishing mono or are you fishing braid?
preferably braid, but you could use him.
Okay. I just want to know
Mhm.
what your personal
Yeah,
preference is. Everybody has
yeah,
their
yeah.
preferences.
Yeah, I like the braid, but thick. The braid has to be thick, like real,
Yeah, that's
some
what
of the
she said.
thickest.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, dredges, the floppies.
two flat lines.
Depends on the anglers on board. So now we're getting into the longs, right?
Yeah.
The riggers are set up with nice release clips, not roller trollers, clips.
Okay.
They're set up in a way we could run four longs, right?
Okay. You
Um,
want to run four longs, two in the shorts and two in the longs.
Preferably you could run two like long and then two even like a bit
L-
more back than that.
Okay.
But to run all four, you could even to run all four, you really need to have the anglers on board and the crew working in synchronization, you know. If it's a lot of confusion, I'll drop down to two longs
Okay.
and simplify everything, you know? Because we could work four longs on our experience and everybody, no tangles and stuff. But if we get running into any of those issues, we'll just pull back to two longs.
Okay.
And yeah, that is
And
my
you're
my
running
my
back
bellfish spread in the
and you're running
Caribbean
ballyhoos on all four of those longs.
on everything, on
Beautiful.
everything. Chugger heads on the shorts, and then just naked, chin weighted, swimming ballyhoos
On the
on the
longs.
long.
Nice. All circle hooks.
All circle hooks.
My man.
Yes. Yes. I mean, yeah, the circle hooks, and then the leader material use fluorocarbon, depending on the type of fish that's around, we would use 40-pound fluorocarbon for the sailfish. If it's small sailfish, sometimes you run into pods of sailfish that are 10 to 15 pounds.
Wow.
And it happens a lot in Grenada, and we could win a tournament pretty easy if we start to work those, but we have to use smaller gear. We could even bounce down to 20 from the 30s, when we
Okay.
started to drill smaller size sailfish, you know?
What size circle hooks are you using?
So I think it's the 6017
Okay.
VMC, the Eagle Claw. I have a couple that we use, but I really have to, I inspected myself before, I go to tie it up and use it. Um, the fluorocarbon leader, we've been working with some new stuff. You ever tried rubbing those fluorocarbon leaders with a little bit of like rubbing alcohol?
Windex.
Windex?
That's what I've used. But rubbing
Mm.
alcohol works where it cleans them up.
You cleans them up a little bit. It makes them a bit more translucent in the water.
Yeah, no, it works phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot of aspects to that type of fish. That fishing is very technical, We could go on about hours and hours about different little techniques that they have, for that
Listen, I'll
naked
let you go as
ballyhoo
far as
fishing.
you want, but I definitely want you to talk a little bit more about your bait here once we're done with the spread. You can
Okay.
talk about for people that are listening and have never been to Trinidad or Tobago or Grenada, I want them to know how you're fishing because a lot of what I've noticed over the years, places like that, like Venezuela, like Mexico, where we get a lot of bites, what ends up happening, because you get a lot of bites, you get a chance to play with different things to fine tune. And what ends up happening is those tips and techniques ends up spreading up and down the East Coast, and people start taking it in different places. So it's very important. Even listen, I was in Saudi last week, and there were some things that we did with Captain Bubba Carter in Costa Rica that we were doing over there. My guys in Saudi, oh hey, we Bubba did this. Let's try it over here. Okay, let's try it. So that's why I want you to talk about it because people that are listening, maybe they've never been to Trinidad, and if they want to go, they should call you, number one, uh, with a smile. Come on, man, give me a smile. There you go. And then, um, but people want to know what you're doing somewhere where you're being successful. So yeah, please continue going into in depth of what you're how you like to fish there in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, there's a bunch of different fisheries. They have the mahis pass through, migrate through that area. Quite, in a big fashion. We set fads for them,
Okay.
and we get wahoo and mahi on the fads. Like you said, in Trinidad, they have some of the best tarpon fisheries in the world. Um, just that, and it's basically in that gap there in between Trinidad and Venezuela, you
Oh,
know?
really? It's in that little gap right there.
Yeah, that's where, because it's a gulf essentially. It's called the
Okay.
Gulf of Paria, and it's closed off on the south and north side of Trinidad, right next to Venezuela, both sides. So when the ocean currents are rising and dropping, it creates those extreme currents in those little gaps in between Trinidad and Venezuela,
Wow.
you know?
Okay.
And of course, the bait fish, because it's such a large volume of water passing through there, bait fish get sucked to the currents, and the tarpon just wait there. And that's where they would get, that's where they would stay, essentially.
That's where everybody's fishing for them. Well, I'll be damned. Yeah, I haven't. I've never been. I've been to Trinidad when I used to live in Venezuela. Took a flight and connected down through there, but that was holy shit. That was almost 30 years ago. You weren't even born yet.
Yeah, I wasn't around. Yeah. Maybe you could have ran into my dad.
Uh, maybe he was busy
Yeah,
making you.
yeah, yeah. I wish I had a photo of him 30 years ago right now to show you what he was
Oh,
up to. He had
listen,
like his boat, he was in the little island in Tobago.
oh my God,
Um,
it's funny, I have a group text with your dad, Carrie, and myself, and the name of the group text is Island Boys because
yeah,
my family's from Cuba, Carrie's family's from Jamaica, and your dad being from Tobago, so it's just called the Island Boys. And every time I see some crazy fucking video, that's where it ends up. Some crazy, uh, some crazy island video of somebody driving down the road with whatever, something on their moped.
hey man, living on the islands is different.
It's
It is not
way
like
different.
living in the States. It's not like living in a city, it's
No.
you
Pe-
can see you can see stuff, you
Listen,
know.
you can see all kinds of stuff. You can walk into an airport, there could be a goat, there could be a chicken, there could be a dog. I remember my first
Yeah.
time in the islands. I landed, I walk in through customs and I'm looking at chickens in customs office.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
It's crazy.
it really is. It really is. But it's quite something. I love living on islands. Madeira is an island, Tobago. I've always basically lived on an island. I think it suits me well. I enjoy like these small communities, close communities,
I agree
you
with you.
know. I get very familiar with like the people who, the butcher, the baker, different people around. We
And
see
that's
them regularly, and we create,
yeah,
it's a
I get
nice
it.
social
I
environment. Yeah.
I know when all the time I spent in St. Thomas, I was there for 20
Mm.
years. You knew everybody, even when you walked across the street, just people you had nothing to do with. You just see them every day. Hey, what's going on? How are you? You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get to know everybody. You walk into the supermarket, you know everybody. I like that small town living. I'm not a very big city person.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I try these cities too, and I like it, but it's just
For a little bit.
change changing a lot, So much things are happening, new
Nobody, kn-
people every
my,
day.
my brother lives in New York City, and
Yeah.
every time I go, or he lives just outside the city in Queens, I see people. We're walking down the road. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's happening? How are you? Good morning. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm saying good morning to people. Man, we don't do that here. And I'm like, that's so
No.
weird.
Yeah.
For me, it's so weird. I say hello to everybody.
Yeah, same here.
I
Yeah.
like it. I like to walk in when I stay at if I stay at a hotel long enough, when I say long enough, anything more than 3 days, man, I walk in, I shake somebody's hand or I go downstairs. Hey, Curtis, how are you today? How's everything going here in the lobby? Anything exciting? You go into the coffee place. Hey, Adriana, how are you today? Oh, Mr. Navarro, another espresso shot. Absolutely. Make it a double today.
For
I
sure,
I
yeah.
like that. I like having the relationship with people. Listen, you're only getting a snidbit of a relationship, but I like to know who they are and I want them to say hello to me back, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take your time, shake somebody's hand. In today's world, everything's happening so fast. I like to slow shit down and get to know people.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So
So,
before we could get back into me a little bit, but
yeah,
how was your week? I remember 2 weeks ago, I called you, I messaged you, you were in, was it Costa Rica?
I was fishing in Costa Rica with my friends from Saudi Arabia. They flew all the way in from Saudi to fish the
Yes.
offshore world championship.
Yes.
And we were very blessed and very lucky. Captain Bubba Carter on the Tiaretta is a dear friend of mine. So I called him up and I'm like, hey, are you booked these days? He goes, no. I said, can I charter you for the OWC? He goes, Fly, I don't normally fish that tournament. I kind of stay in what's that called? In Los Sueños. He goes, but for you, I'll come up there. I'm like, great. For me, all really the biggest thing I just wanted to do was hang out with my buddy Bubba Carter. I've known Bubba for over 30 years. And we got in there, and before we pre-fished one day, so they got a chance to meet Bubba, and then on the on the day of the captain's meeting, we all went out to dinner together. The whole team, Bubba and his wife, and we invited Tiny. I don't. Do you know Tiny? Jason Walcott,
I don't
big
think so.
big
No.
white Jamaican guy, and
Mm.
yeah, he's my age. We're the same age. I think we're off by like 7 months. Anyway, we all went to dinner together, and I had one of those really proud moments because all my friends from Saudi Arabia, they're just getting into this the international side of sport fishing. Traveling outside of the kingdom, traveling outside the Middle East, as a crew. And they've read about guys like Bubba and they've read about guys like your dad but they've never met them. And these are all my friends. So for me, it was just a great time to sit down and watch them all have little conversations, you know, and introduced the fishing world to my Muslim friends from Saudi, and we had an epic dinner. I'll never forget. I walked in. I got in there early. I saw Bubba and his wife and Tiny. I said, "Listen, guys, order whatever you want, but I'll let you know how we normally order. We just order a bunch of shit for the table, and everybody's it's like a big family style dinner." And that's just the way we eat, where
Yeah.
everybody's, I'll take a couple pieces of this, I'll keep a piece of that. Well, we ended up, the waiter came over and me and my friend Halim, we ordered and I said, hey, just so you know, you guys can order whatever you want, but we just ordered for the table. And they're like, what did you order for the table? And I told them we ordered two of everything. It's like, what? And it's like, we ordered two fillets, two flank steaks, two porterhouse, two tenderloins, two tomahawks. We ordered two of everything. And then Bubba's wife goes, "Hey, I really like the bone marrow for an appetizer." And we had ordered three of those. And Halim goes, "Make it four." So we just had food everywhere. But what it does is instead of you just focusing eating your dinner, you're reaching over and grabbing off of another plate and you're constantly talking with people. So we had such a I mean, everybody got to know everybody before we started the tournament.
Yeah, yeah, that's lovely. I love when dinner isn't just about the food, it's a social event. It's a social
Exactly.
experience.
Exactly.
You know, we
I
can eat food at any time, but when we have dinner together,
and you get to
it's
know
we're sharing,
people.
we're celebrating friendship, brotherhood,
Ex-
camaraderie. It's a
exactly.
bonding experience. It's a team experience, and it empowers a team. It's good to do while you're tournament fishing. Gives you
Exactly.
strength as a team, you know?
And I was so happy to be able to share my fishing family with my Saudi family
Mm.
because they're coming and doing more of this stuff. Halim was one of the other guys. He had spent a week in the Galapagos right before he came up for the tournament, you know?
Okay.
And so they're really enjoying all of this stuff, and it's nice that they know more guys. I want them to know my friends. I have a huge Rolodex of fishermen all over the world, and
Mm.
I want to give that to everybody, that not just my close friends. When people call me up, hey, I want to fish Madeira. Who should I call? And I'm like, here's three numbers. You make your choice. And they're always my friends, but I always give them three numbers because somebody might be booked, but I don't want to show any preference either. I'm like, here's the three best guys I know, you know,
Yeah.
and just tell them I sent you because I have a very strict policy of, hey man, if I give somebody your number, at least call them back. At least call them back. Even if you can't take them, that's fine. At least call them back. Don't, not answer somebody's call because I hate that.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
just
big move.
call them. Hey, man, I'd really love to help you, but I'm booked those days, and let me give you somebody else. Or do you need somebody? No, Fly gave me two other numbers. That's all. That's all I ask. Return people's
Yeah,
calls.
that's
Because
lovely.
I have
Yeah.
so many people that call me up asking me for stuff, for instance, to go fishing somewhere, and I'm very particular. I don't ever want to send somebody with an asshole. So
Of course. Yeah.
because then
Of
that makes
course.
me look bad. So
Yeah.
it's important to me. I mean, even like the World Cup, people call me up. Hey, I'm like, here's three numbers. Here's five numbers. You call. And I tell all the charter guys, listen, if you tag me on your social media story, I'll reshare it.
Mm.
I don't, I'm not trying to show favoritism. I'm just trying to help you with the extensive platform that I've created. Here, I'll reshare it. You know, you're looking for a charter for the 4th of July? What's a hit button? I'm not going to charge you for that. I don't want to charge you for
Yeah.
that. I just want to help people. I want to help my friends on their business.
And that's the thing with helping people, right? Because I agree. I'm just like that because I want to help everybody. I don't want to be, favoritize one person or one group or
No,
this or that. I love people, full stop, you know?
done.
So yeah, that if we could work together, if everybody could help each other out, if we could, find a better way,
Exactly.
that's exactly how
We- It's a
that's how we
fraternity.
need to go about it.
Yeah, I look at
So
it as we're a fraternity. We help each other out. I mean, if we were out fishing somewhere and I was taking on water, would you go in and not help me? No.
yeah,
So what's the difference between that or somebody that wants to go fishing somewhere? To me,
right?
there's no difference, you know?
Yeah.
So let me help you. If this is, or hey man, this is somebody that means a lot to me. This is a very close friend. Are you, sometimes I'll do that. Listen, I'm going to have somebody call you, but just so you know, this is their number. And I've done that with your dad where I knew he had some dates available and I called him up and I'm like, hey man, so and so, wants to call you. They're good friends of mine. If you can make it happen, make it happen, you know? Um, because we do have to help each other. And that's the one cool thing about our industry. Don't matter where you go. You can go in Trinidad, you can go to Puerto Rico, you can go to Bermuda, you can go to Madeira. We're all the same. We're all a bunch of knucklehead fishermen, man.
Of course, exactly. And yeah, it's important to get yourself in that state of mind that yeah, we're here to help each other. Yes, we are. We might have competitive roles in terms of, oh, we want to catch the fish and do this and do that. But at the end of the day, it's a brotherhood and we're trying to help each other, achieve common
Exactly.
goals. And that.
Exactly. It's a brotherhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so important, that we help each other out. And especially now that it's so easy. It's not like 30 years ago where I have to call collect home to find out what's going on. Now you just post it up on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever it is that you, everybody has their own thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you can get
And
across the world in seconds. Yeah.
oh, I remember his name is Austin. He runs the Max Bet. He caught a 1,000 pounder in North Carolina. And I forget, I think it was the Pirates Cove tournament. Um I was in St. Thomas and he sent me a text message with the photo on it, but it wasn't an iPhone. It was the old Motorola flip phones. So,
Okay.
but I'm telling you that just so you know how long ago it was. And I'm like, oh my God, how cool is this? I can see his 1,000 pound fish almost instantly after they weighed it.
Mm.
Now it's you put it on Facebook and before you know it, everybody's sharing it.
It's got a million views.
Yeah. I think
Shout out to Carrie. I love Carrie for now. Carrie always posts my videos. I get a million views.
yeah,
Like there's
well,
no way I would ever got a million views if I posted.
listen, he's a good amplifier.
He
He's
is. He's amazing. Shout out Carrie.
actually there's one of your pictures I think it's your picture. It's the fish in Madeira. I think it's in Madeira where it's in the back of the truck. I think it was that grander you caught a couple years back. And
Yeah.
it's in the back of the truck where the tail's sticking out. Every time I posted that one, when I put it on the World Cup page, it always spreads around the world very fast.
That's crazy. I caught it on my dad's lure. I actually have the lure right here.
Well, let's
It's
talk
a try.
about that lure. Let's talk about that fish because that was a
Uh,
crazy story.
yeah, that was a crazy time. That was a great time.
So,
Yeah.
who did I talk to about? I think I might have even been talking to Alex about it. Was it Alex? We were talking about how uh, people in our industry could go all their life to try to catch a grander.
Mm.
And then somebody goes on a 1 day charter and they can catch one.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the craziest thing in the world. So if you don't mind telling
Yeah.
people you took somebody was on their honeymoon, correct?
That was right. Yeah, it was a couple and they were on their honeymoon.
Yeah, yeah.
We took them out on my dad's boat, the Pesca Grossa.
Okay.
Yep. But scratch to like 1994, right? My dad came here for his, I think it was 95. My dad came here for his first time, right? And he went out here fishing his first day. He went out for the first hour and they caught 1,000, I think it was 1,008 pound blue marlin.
Wow.
And that's what, yeah, and they brought it in and weighed it. And that was in 95. I wasn't born yet. My brother was one. So that's what got him hooked on fishing here.
That thousand
You know,
pounder.
that yeah, that's what got him started over here. And
Yeah.
then, when I caught the 1,000 pounder over here, that I kind of got a state of mind of how he felt probably like in 1950, like that feeling of why he keeps coming back or why he keeps doing that, why he puts in so much hard work into the industry, you know?
for that
Is what I
opportunity.
think. Yeah. So as far as like the grander story, I mean, I think I told it a bunch of
Yeah,
times
tell
now.
it to
But
everybody now that's listening.
yeah, so like we had this couple that from California. I can't remember the husband's name, but I remember the wife's name was Taylor.
Good memory. I
Yes.
would remember the wife's name as well, not the husband. Good.
Well, she was the star of the day. She caught the fish.
Okay.
So, so I know. I mean, of course, I remember her name. So they came, went out on the Pesca Grossa. You know, we fish out not too far from the shore, maybe 3 miles. It was a pretty, unsuccessful day, not just for us, but for the whole fleet. Up to about maybe like 4 o'clock, we hadn't seen much of anything actually. And we had made it to some really nice fishing grounds up past Cabo Jarau
Okay.
on the south side of the island here where we fish. And yeah, we were working the area for a while. We were going back and forth. We saw some good structure, we saw some familiar structure because we weren't even seeing any bait or any birds or any signs of anything in particular. And yeah, maybe like 4 o'clock, we got one to raise up. So one marlin raised up we had run some bridge teasers. One raised up on the bridge teaser. We pull the teaser out, and he didn't switch. He didn't switch on to the little pitch bait that we had out there. So like fast forward 30 seconds, one blue marlin strikes the left long, right? Looking pretty big. Like basically both of them looked around the same size, like 1,000 pounds.
Oh
So
wow.
that one struck the left long. And in the same instant, the one that was following the teaser came and struck the right short. So basically, in the same instance, we had two bites, and we lost. That one, the left long one, just took a bit of line, and we lost that one, and we hooked up onto
The one on
the
the
one
right
that bit
short.
on the right short, and we caught that one in about 40 minutes.
How was the
And we
fight? Did
put
it jump a lot? Did it stay deep?
it didn't jump
Okay.
much. It stayed deep. Yeah, it came up. It came up a bit tired after only 40 minutes. It
Okay.
came up a bit tired. And yeah, it was a nice size one. So when we pulled it into the boat, we got after and we pulled it into the boat. The fish was so big, the Pesca Grossa is only 31 feet and she's a pretty flat bottom boat. We pulled the fish into the boat, the back of the boat dipped down like this, almost started to sink the boat a little bit. Bunch
Don't
of
sink
water.
your dad's boat, man. Don't sink your dad's
I was like,
boat.
no, I couldn't. I could never. I could never. If I have to hop in the water and hold it up. But no, but we just put it in forward and started to go. It's actually a standard procedure on the Pesca Grossa at this point. It's a known thing. Once
Once
they
you put a
pass around, once they pass around 800 pounds, she starts to take some water in. We
so
know
you know
that.
you got to go in.
We know that we've done this many times before, actually. You know, sometimes on the World Cup, you
Yes,
know.
she is a
So,
World Cup winner.
so we kind of know what size fish we could pull in, and we could probably bring in any size fish. We just gotta get moving pretty quickly. We can't dilly dally. It has to be a kind of
Hurry up,
a
get
quick
her in. We
procedure.
got to move forward.
Man, I love that boat. That's my dad's old little wood boat.
He
He
loves
had
that
that
boat.
boat in 2007. Last year he just got a new boat.
He
He
got a
just
new
got the
boat
Blue
last year?
Macaira. Yeah, he got this boat last
Oh
year, the
yeah,
Blue
he got the Blue
Macaira.
Macaira from Mark.
Yeah, the Blue Macaira, man, an ex-tournament winner,
That's another,
an ex-World Cup
here's the
winner.
funny part. The Pesca Grossa was the last boat to win when Mike Leach was the tournament director. And the Blue
Okay.
Macaira was the first boat to win when I was tournament director. So
Wow.
that's back to back.
Would you look at that? Would you look at how hot Madeira is? And
Ye-
did you check it? Has Madeira won the World Cup more than anywhere else in the world?
No, Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii
But
has.
if you look at the amount of boats fishing,
Well,
all
that's
right,
the
I
whole
got what you mean. Yeah,
that's
that's the
why
whole debate, I guess.
that's
Yeah.
why
But
Hawaii
but numbers wise, yeah.
between Hawaii and Bermuda every year they average somewhere between 45 to 55 boats.
Mm.
So that's why you always get so many winners out of there. It's pure numbers.
Yeah.
It's pure numbers. But listen, Cape
Yeah.
Verde's been doing really well too.
It
Um,
has.
I know
Cape
when
Verde right now.
right, Cape Verde right now
Right now.
is on fucking fire. Is on fire.
Yes.
Everybody's getting like between 8 to 10 bites a day.
Incredible.
It's it's unbelievable. And they're not small fish. They're all mid-range to big ones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I
you
think
got
they got some 250s in the mix. They got some
oh, okay.
250s.
I've been seeing all
Yeah.
sixes.
All
Sixes,
six. Well,
seven, and eights.
I see Marty's catching a lot of big ones. Yeah.
Miss Angela,
Hmm.
Josh, he's been catching a bunch.
Right.
So yeah, it's been but then again, this is the time of year for him.
Yeah, no, and definitely Cape Verde has been very productive over the last 3, 4 years. We've seen that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, as well as the Azores,
The
you know.
Azores has been pretty fucking hot, man.
Yeah, the Azores has been pretty productive for the last 3, 4 years.
Yeah. I listen, it's
Yeah.
impressive. The year I fished there, it was slow. It was so slow.
Yeah.
I fished
Yeah,
there
that's
in
the thing. Well, it
16.
change up, huh?
What's
Yeah,
that?
it changes up. You know, sometimes you could have a really slow season in the Azores,
Yeah.
you know?
Listen, it's water currents, man. Sometimes they come in,
Mhm.
sometimes they push out. You never know. There's no guarantees in anything.
No, yeah, yeah. No, Madeira has been pretty slow for the last few seasons. I've seen it pretty good last season. I seen it good. I think it was 2019. 2019 was pretty good. What else? 20, I think it was 2016 and 2017 were very good years as well too. When I would go out there, I remember one day I went out with my dad on the Pesca Grossa, and I was up there. That boat has a tuna tower, and I'm up there, and I counted 23 blue marlin free swimming on the surface. You know,
What?
over here in Madeira, and all of them big ones.
Wow.
Yeah, so the fishing up here could get like that good. You know,
Yeah, no, it
it's
definitely
been
can.
it's been a while since it's rolled over. You know.
Oh,
But this year we're seeing some bait, you know, there's a little
I
bait here
heard
and
there's some
there.
bait showing up and it's starting to look good.
Mhm. Yeah, they got a marlin caught. Somebody caught a marlin the other day.
Any size to it?
Um, 800. I mean, they call it 800.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they call it 800. A 70-year-old guy caught it on a 50 after a 4-hour fight.
Wow.
A charter class, right?
Why were they fishing a 50?
They were tuna fishing.
Oh, they weren't
Little
even
bit,
marlin fishing.
bit of tuna there.
Peter said there had been some tunas around, nice tunas too, when I talked to Peter a few
Yeah,
weeks ago.
yeah, yeah. They got some tuna around. They got some, the 200, 250 size, which are the proper size big eye tuna that we get here, as well as some 100 pounders.
All right. And you guys
Yeah.
get a lot of spearfish as well.
Yeah, not every season, so it varies season to season.
Okay.
Last season was very good for spearfish. They are a very rare billfish species, the rarest billfish
And
species.
they're the tastiest too.
They are,
They're very
yeah,
tasty.
they are very quite good. And there's also, the genetics of them. The white marlin, the hatchet marlin, the spearfish. I've seen some spearfish up here that I don't know. I could show you some photos. I could send some photos for you, but it's almost like borderline cross genetics,
I listen,
you
I
know?
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
be
mean, it has
surprised.
to be.
The
Yeah.
the round scale spearfish
Mm.
is it looks like a white marlin. The only difference, the only way you can tell is by measuring the anal fin to the anus. It's
Hmm.
closer. Other than that, it looks like a fucking white marlin,
Yep, yep, yep.
you know? So, and
Yep.
they get big, man.
Long
They
belly.
get to 70 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so I caught a bunch of those. I caught a bunch of the long bill spearfish.
Okay.
And I caught some that looked like a mix between the long bill spearfish and a round scale spearfish. You
Really?
know? Yeah. It's the best I could describe it, you know?
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of messing around in that wood pile.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
don't
making
know
like
either.
a scientific observation. Just I'll send you some photos of what I think,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
send me. Because I know
Yeah.
your dad sends me photos all the time. And he's
Hmm.
asked me a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think of this? Or hey, can you talk to the IGFA about this or the Billfish Foundation? He always sends me stuff that he wants me to introduce to one of those organizations.
For sure, yeah.
We got to give you guys on the Eastern Atlantic some more credit. You guys are doing some cool shit over there.
Yeah, and we're still figuring out, because sport fishing isn't hugely popularized in the East here, in Europe.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not like the United States.
it's not like the West. The West even, the US is the biggest in the world. That's sport fishing capital, Florida. Sport
What
fishing capital of the world,
the
you
whole
know?
East Coast, but yeah, Florida's the
Yeah.
epicenter of it, but it is the old. So just so you know, numbers wise, compare because I deal with these numbers all the time. The United States
Mhm.
has 66 million fishermen.
That's amazing.
Out of 340 million people, 66 million fishermen. And here's the thing, if you get all the golfers and all the tennis players and put them together, they're not even close to fishing.
It don't come close. It's the most participated sport in the
It,
US.
in the US, in the world, but yeah,
In the world. I want to
yeah,
tell you an extension to it's the most participated sport in the world. You
exactly.
know it? Yeah.
Exactly. So we have a great market now. The offshore marlin market for us, I want to say it's something like 360,000, which percentage wise of that 66 million is almost nothing. But
Mm.
still, that 360,000 in the US, and that's people that go out chasing marlin, sailfish, offshore tuna, stuff like that. It just, again, uh, Florida's very lucky because it's so close. But when you start going to Virginia, North Carolina, you got to go 40, 50 miles offshore. Same thing in the Gulf of Mexico. So you need bigger boats. So that's why those numbers, in comparison to the 66 million, the most popular fishing is bass fishing because everybody has a lake or a
Yeah.
canal, you know. But still,
Yeah.
it's people want that.
Just
They just want to
just
go
as
out.
a good way to relieve stress. Any sort of fishing will do that for you. Take your mind off of everything else and just, get out there and get a line wet.
So
Doesn't have to be for anything big.
I'm going to share this story with you. I would share the picture, but it's on my phone and it's not going to look. So my best friend, we've been friends since we were in third grade, and he decided to become a father at 50. So he has a 4-year-old son. He got a 1-year-old daughter, And a couple of
Mhm.
weeks ago, at 4 years old, there's a bunch of like 7 and 8 year old kids playing on the canal behind the house. And they were fishing, and he wanted to go fishing. And the kid's like, "You're too young. You're 4 years old. You don't know how to fish." So he comes in the house crying. And his mom's like, "What's the matter?" And he goes, "I want to fish, and the kids won't let me fish." And my best friend goes, "Huh, he doesn't know who his uncle is." So I I got online and I ordered him I say a bunch of shit. I maybe spent $80, but I got 2 rods. I got 100 worms, 100 grubs. He's got shit everywhere. So I went over to his house yesterday for the first day of fishing. And I got some pictures of me and him. He's 4 years old. And we were just a little bobber with some bread, and he caught like 14 or 15 little chitlets. Little itty bitty things, but man, let me tell you, he fucking loved it, and I had the time of my
He was
life.
laughing, yeah.
He fucking loved it. He loved it. I talked to his dad this morning, and he goes, "Dude, I called him up last night, and he wouldn't shut up about you. I finally told him, take a deep breath. I know who Uncle Fly is. What did you do?" "But Dad, we went fishing and we caught this, and the bobber went like that, and the bread was going over here, and I saw a catfish, and I saw." It's
They love
great
it.
though. Like you said,
Yeah.
it gives you some time to hang out and relax,
Hmm.
and bond. I'll never
And
forget. He,
then,
he might forget because he's 4.
uh,
I'll never forget it.
yeah, isn't the I think the experience is more probably better for you,
Yeah,
getting to
yeah,
see him so happy, That's such a
exactly. Exactly. And
yeah,
the little fish would swim into the weeds and he couldn't get it out. I'm like, "Give me that rod." And I go and I climb out and I told him, I said, "Hey, now listen to me. You got to understand this. This is very, very important." I says, "When you fall in the water, because you will fall in the water, I promise you. When you fall in, not don't fall in. When you fall in, don't cry, don't scream, don't get scared. Just stand up, because it's whatever, it's 6 inches of water." I'm like, "When you
yeah.
fall in, just stand up and get out. Okay? No crying. You got it?" "Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got it." And then like 5 minutes later, his mom's like, "Be careful, don't fall in." I go, Oliver, when you fall in, what are you gonna do?" "I'm gonna get out." I go, "There you go, buddy."
Uh,
I'm gonna get out.
you learn so much, huh?
Listen, we've all fallen in.
Yeah,
We've all fallen in. I've fallen in the water more times than I even want to imagine.
yeah, yeah,
It's
kids. And that's the thing, you don't need to protect kids and put a bubble over them, and you have to let kids do dangerous things carefully, you know?
exactly, exactly. You're gonna fall in. I'm not gonna tell you
Yeah,
not to. I'm not gonna tell you to stay away from the edge. Fucking fall in. Whatever.
yeah,
We've all fallen in. Just
right?
be careful. Get up.
And it's so much nicer now to see a kid by the river with a fishing rod and his uncle, as opposed to just on the couch with his iPad. Because these
Exactly.
kids these days, they're just glued to that thing, man.
They're
You
just
know?
they're just glued. And listen, he's glued to it too. Now I'm lucky he has a love for sharks. So I've bought him,
All right.
I don't know, I've bought him like 10 shark books. So yesterday he pulled them all out. When I went to the house, he pulled them all out. "Uncle Fly, read the books to me." I'm like, "Read what, motherfucker? It's all pictures." But
So
listen,
that's your nephew.
yes.
That's your sister's son.
No, 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 no. This is my best friend. My best friend.
Or
I'm
your
actually,
best friend's son.
yeah, I'm actually both kids. I'm the godfather to both of them.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah, he made me the
Congratulations.
godfather, and the little girl, she's actually named after me. Not her middle initial is my first initial. So,
Okay.
and that's her middle name is just my initial. That's it.
Oh,
So, yeah, we've been
that's lovely.
friends. We've been. I have a group of us. We've been friends since we were like six. There's four of us, and um, one of them I'm the godparents. Another one I'm in business with. The other one I'm trying. He doesn't know this, and probably by the time this podcast comes out, I would have already had a conversation with him. I have an idea for giving him a job in my company that I think he would be perfect for. And because he's just one of these really social guys, and I'm like, oh my God, you would be a perfect liaison for me. All I would need you to do is fly around and uh, talk with people, entertain them, and he's a perfect guy for it. What's your job? The only thing is, I was told, not by him, by one of my other friends, don't give him a corporate card. Don't give him a corporate card. So no, it's
Yeah.
I'm very, very blessed in that I have a lot of friends that I've had for a long fuck. Look at Carrie. I've known
Yeah.
Carrie shit, man. I think I've known Carrie 32 years.
Wow. Where did you
Yeah.
guys meet? In Jamaica?
I met
Jamaica?
him in Venezuela.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met him in Venezuela. He came down to fish with me when I was working for Scott Steele on the Topless, and
Uh-huh.
I caught Carrie his first swordfish ever.
Oh, I think he told me the story. I
Yeah,
think he
he
told
posts a
me.
picture every year or so. He posts the pictures. I'm
Oh,
just a I look like a little kid. I don't know, 23.
that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, so nephews, so my brother, he has a 2-year-old and he's fish obsessed.
Oh,
Just, you know, because my brother commercial fishes full time for a living. You
okay.
know, he has a commercial fishing boat that he does that with. And then he does charter fishing when he's not doing that, when he commercial fishing slow, you know, he picks up the charter fishing
Yeah.
and does that operation. And so the kids just always around that environment. He's bringing home like coolers of fish, you know, little bonito. And it makes him ecstatic when he gets to hold one of the fish or just be around it or just look at it and like touch it a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
He's 2, he's gonna be 3 in June. His birthday's probably in a few days, you
What
know?
what did you order him?
Uh, What did I get him for his birthday?
Yeah, you better have
Uh,
gotten them. You better if you haven't, fucking get on Amazon.
Yeah, I haven't gotten him anything yet. You know, he's coming to Madeira, so my brother is gonna be bringing his wife and 2 kids to
Okay.
Madeira this season. He's gonna spend 2 months here and captain one of my father's boats.
Okay. Which is
For
he gonna
him.
do the sorted? Not the sorted, the Blue Macaira or the Pesca Grossa?
I think he's gonna captain the Blue Macaira. The
Okay.
Blue Macaira he's gonna captain the Blue Macaira. And I think Carlos would be on the Pesca Grossa.
Okay.
And my dad just got a new boat, a 39 Hatteras.
So he's gonna have
That
three
he,
boats there?
yeah, so he just got no, so he's gonna bring it. It's in the Canary Islands now, so he's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
bring it over. Yeah, and he should be here this week. So yeah, you'll have 3 boats here in Madeira this year.
Oh,
That
wow.
one, that one is pretty sweet. He just fitted it with a Faruno Omnisona, a CH8.
Wow.
You know? So yeah, so this season's gonna be excited between my brother coming in, you know, because my brother is a legendary fisherman in himself, you
Yes, he
know.
is.
He just went to Jamaica. I think he set the record for most blue marlin releases there in a day. I think he went 11 for 14 in one day in Jamaica.
Wow.
Yeah, which I think the previous best was like 5 or 7 or something, you know. And he does really good in the tournament series in the Southern Caribbean. So those little tournaments, those little prestige tournaments I was telling you about, Barbados, Grenada, Tobago, he would fish those and he would, you know, usually win, you know, usually
Usually
do,
do good at them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Usually
you
do
need to
very
buy a
well.
fishing rod for your nephew when he comes to Madeira.
Yeah, he's gonna come down here. Yes, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one for him. And they have
Get
some. They
one
have
for
some.
Listen,
Yeah,
if
I'll buy him a brand new one. I'm gonna
no,
get him
no,
a brand
listen.
new one with some
Here's
bobbers.
my thing. Today is what? May 11th. Today's May
Uh-huh.
10th. It's May 10th. And they're coming
Uh,
when? July or
they'll
June?
be so my brother's gonna be here on the 30th of May. So he's gonna be here
30th of
for the
May?
from the
I'm
he's gonna
giving
be
you
here.
10 days. I want to
Mm.
see I want to see a picture text to me of the new fishing rod that you ordered for your nephew. And if not, I'm going to order it and it's going to be from Uncle Fly. If you don't
Well, that
order
sounds.
if you don't
I'm gonna, you
order
know which one
one,
I'm gonna get it. You know which one I'm gonna get for him? I'm gonna get him the same one. My first one, a Shakespeare. It's gonna be the cheapest. It's gonna be the cheapest Shakespeare one.
it don't
Just
matter. Just give it.
yeah,
He's going to
just
be so happy. I'm telling you right
yeah,
now. I'm going to tell your
yeah,
dad this. If I don't see a picture by May 20th of the
yeah,
rod,
yeah.
I'm going to order one and I'm going to send it to your father's house and I'm going to say make sure that when the kid shows up, it's from Uncle Fly because his Uncle Curtis sucks. So you got 10
That's
days. If not,
that's very that's very kind of you, Fly. But Uncle Curtis don't suck. Uncle,
I,
Uncle
I
Curtis got all the toys.
listen.
Uh,
That's why I'm giving you 10
uh,
days. Don't let
all
it
right,
pass you.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
Because if not, I'd order that thing right now. But I'm
yeah,
giving
yeah,
you 10 days and I'm going to text your father too. Hey,
yeah.
if Curtis doesn't have a rod for your grandson by the 20th, I'm buying one.
No, well, look at this little boy, right? He's 2 years old. His granddad is a fisherman. His dad is a fisherman, and his uncle is a fisherman. He couldn't escape that life if he
I,
tried,
I
Fly. He
know.
can't.
Well,
He can't.
that's why you need to buy him a fishing rod. So
Yeah,
every day at the end of the day when he comes down, he can while his dad is washing the boat,
Mm.
he can catch a little fish off the dock there and be so excited. And when he shows it up, hey, Uncle Curtis, look what I caught. And you can yell at your brother, yeah, that's the rod I got him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I, I'm telling you, I'm giving you 10 days. I'm going to give you
Yeah, yeah,
10
yeah.
days to make sure you order
I'll
a
get
rod.
I'll get a firm Fly.
And it has
I'll put from Fly and from Curtis
no,
and
no, no, no,
Fly.
no, no, no.
I'm gonna
Listen, I don't
he's
want
gonna
to I don't want to steal your thunder, but if he's going to be there for
uh-uh.
the summer,
Yeah, yeah. When he comes in, when he come in with the kids, I'll give you a call and I'll show you the kids, man. I'll show you what it's you
I want
want.
to see that. No, no, no. I want a picture of the kit on the 20th because if you don't have it on the 20th, I'm going to get on Amazon. I'm going to expedite it right into Madeira.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, funny thing with that kid, so right, his dad, they had him in Canada, right?
Uh-huh.
And they were at her family's house there in Canada, and they live on a lake in Canada. And they have good like bass fishing, trout in the lake. So the baby's like 6 months old. Adrian has one of these little rods, and he's like casting it. He's casting it with the baby, and he catches a trout, and he sends me a picture of like the 6-month-old baby and a trout. And he's trying to tell me he caught his first fish already.
Come
I'm like this.
on.
I'm like, come on.
You're going a
I'm
little
like, come
bit too
on.
far, man. You're going a
Yeah,
little bit too far.
yeah, like 6 months, but
Oh my God,
it
that's
was
so
funny.
funny. That is so funny. No, listen,
Yeah.
it's important. We got to introduce them young.
Yeah, they
It,
love it,
and especially if it's our passion and our love, who better to introduce them to all of this than us?
Yeah,
The way I see it, you know. Now
yeah.
whether they decide to continue fishing for fun or a living, that's up to them. But like you
Mm.
said, they're not on the couch playing on an iPad. They're outside. Let's go fishing. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Yeah,
it's
it's gonna.
important. Now, being that
Yeah.
we're talking about you and your brother, I want to hear, and I promise it'll only be between me and you. I want to hear the craziest story with you and your brother that drove your dad crazy.
which will be.
I don't know. You tell me what. Tell me something you guys did to really piss your dad off when you guys were kids.
Oh. I
You,
mean,
you had to have done
what
something.
did we not do to Frothy? It'd be
I,
easy to tell you the things that we didn't do to him.
I don't know. Tell me something you guys did that drove him crazy. Maybe you guys were like teenagers and you left the boat wide open, or
I mean,
you took the boat out when
we
you
were
weren't
never
supposed to.
irresponsible with the boats, you know? When it comes to the boats and boating, we're pretty solid, you know?
You never took
I
the boat
think
out fun fishing.
when we were younger, you know, being less experienced, we might have damaged the motor or something, you know, here and there, you know, because of inexperience, unfamiliar with operating
Yeah.
diesel engines and marine propulsion systems, you know, where that's something you get over time without learning to operate, you know, the engineering mindset and
Uh-huh.
whatnot. But we were always very particular with the boats, you know. As far as when we're off the boats, you know,
Give
and
me.
you know, I'm a wild boy personally, you know, I ride motorbikes, I'm I surf, you know,
Uh-huh.
I like, you know, that kind of adrenaline rush lifestyle. You know, I don't get it as much from fishing, sometimes a little bit, you know, but when I was growing up, you know, my dad used to surf and we'd spend a lot of time, you know, down on the beach, learning how to do that and
You never did
yeah.
anything that drove him crazy.
I mean, a lot of things. I'm just trying to think
I
about one in
I
particular.
I want to know something that both you and your brother did together
Yeah.
to drive your
Hmm.
dad crazy.
You know, we never really teamed up like that.
You never like stole his car and went out?
Oh yeah, countless times. But is that I don't I can't say that that's the that's
I
not the real story.
listen, make one up.
That's
You
playful.
and your brother stole his car and he went down to the town square and saw you guys drinking and carrying on or something. I know you guys did something.
Yeah, you know, I mean, growing up, Frothy is actually a really nice guy because he's such a gentle, you know, you can't get him angry, you know, so you can literally, you know, you can't make him angry, you know. He'll give you good advice. He'll tell you what
I
not to do.
I
But
can
if you
see
don't, you
that.
know, but if you're messing up, he's not gonna look at you like, you know, he's
He's
not
not
gonna
gonna
get human mad. He's
he's
not gonna
not
get human get mad.
he's
He's
not
just
gonna
gonna get
grab you
ahead.
by the ear.
Now he's just gonna get ahead. Go inside or
He's
something.
not gonna pull off a slipper and hit you with it.
No, he's the most gentle, Frost. He's the most gentle person. You know, he's really a great dad. You know,
Oh,
you
that's
never, you know, you never yelled at me, never screamed. You know,
maybe
maybe
he
a bit
should
while we're
have.
fishing.
Maybe
Maybe
he
he
should
should have.
have.
That's what I'm thinking because,
Maybe he should have yelled at you.
yeah, because I get fucked up all the time being a wild boy. You know, and maybe if I was more, but
No,
yeah.
you can, listen, you are who you are because of the way he raised you.
Yeah, I love who I am, you know.
Well, you should,
Um,
man. You've become a
yeah,
very successful captain. But I
thank
know
you,
you
you
had to have
know.
done something that you just don't want to put on the record. I know you had to do something.
There's a lot of stuff that I don't want on the record, to be honest with you, Fly. So I'm, I'm thinking right now, I might have to talk to my lawyer and get back to you. If that makes,
Ah,
if that
you
makes
you
any
need
sense.
to know
I'm
if
a
the
good
stat.
person. Don't get me wrong. I'm a good person. I love people. We
I
established
never
that,
said
you
you
know.
were a bad person. Listen, there's a
Yeah.
difference between making bad decisions and being a bad person.
Of course, we all make bad decisions,
We've
of
all
course.
made bad decisions. And
Right.
I never accused you of being a bad person. I just
I
want
never
to
said
know a
so.
bad decision that your father had to go pull you out of jail or something.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he never came to get me out of jail, no. Be honest with you. we've been through a lot together. I mean, um, my dad pulled us out of a situation. I mean, most of the times when I ever got into any problems, I mean, I never really ended up in any serious situation. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, that's all good. That's all good.
Yeah.
I just
You got me completely stumped out.
here's the thing, you're going to end up sending me a text message sometime tomorrow. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night and you're going to be, son of a bitch, I forgot that one story.
Yeah, because my for this podcast, my mindset was all on about the fishing stuff, like I just wasn't
No,
thinking, I
it's
wasn't prepared.
here's the thing, and it's important to me. The podcast is about the fishing because we're all fishermen, but it's really for me is for people to know who you are. Um, people, uh, it's happened to me on some side of it, and I've seen it. So, hey, what's Curtis like? Hey, what's Frothy like? Hey, what's well, here's the thing. Let's just get you on the podcast and you talk for 2 hours. Like when I talk to one of my favorites is I talked to Peter Pakula and we talked for
Okay.
2 hours and we spent 15 minutes talking about how he makes lures. We spent the last hour and 45 minutes talking about how he loves to go trout fishing and how he likes to go fishing with his wife.
Mm,
And it's important to, I mean, we could talk about the fishing. That's fine, but I want people to know who
mm,
you are. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I bring on guys like Peter Bristow and Kevin Nakamura. I want people, Charles Perry. I mean, there's a lot of young kids out there that don't know who Charles Perry is, and I think that's horrible.
It is, and they have this really amazing book. I have to take a little second here to grab this book. Have you ever read this book? Have you ever seen this book?
Which one is it? Big Game Fishing, Living Legends. No, by who? Patrick Mansell. No.
This book was written by a friend of my father. Um, and it gives one chapter of maybe, let me see how many. I think it's like five or six. No, it's more like 10 amazing captains, legendary captains, and their story. So this page here, I'm not seeing if you're seeing that.
Yeah, Ronnie Hamlin, Bart Miller, Peter Bristow, Brazaka, Bobby Brown. Yeah.
Right. And then they got these ones here.
Kevin Nakamura, Peter Wright, Bouncer Smith, Skip Smith, Bart Garnsey, Billy Harrison, and George Porveromo.
Right. So they
Yeah.
got this book. Right, this was composed. Each chapter, the captains tell some of their most remarkable stories, a little bit about what it means to them to be a fisherman.
It's important,
Uh,
man.
yeah, yep. And like you say, a lot of the young guys, they don't know who these guys are, you
No.
know. And I know a lot of these guys personally. Like I met Ron Hamlin here in Madeira. He fished here in Madeira, back when I was here, maybe it was like 2008, 2009. Me and Ron
Wow.
Hamlin were cool. Bart Miller, I never met him. Peter Bristow, I fish with him here every season.
He's amazing.
Brazaka, he's from Australia,
I met him one time.
right,
I,
yeah.
I met him one time in Fort Lauderdale.
Bobby Brown came to the Azores to fish. He was there while I was there. Unfortunately, I did not get to meet him while he was there. I would have
Oh,
loved
man.
to meet him. Kevin Nakamaru, I see him often. He comes here to Madeira. His wife's Madeiran. Know him
Yeah,
personally.
he's cool.
Yeah. Peter Wright. I don't know him, but my dad's good
I
friends with
met
him.
Peter when I was 15 years old, Peter Wright. And then I got to know him. I was at his 80th birthday party.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this book, I really enjoyed this book. If you get a chance, take a read because some of the most incredible fishing stories you can imagine. If each one of those captains had to pick their two most favorite stories and write it down in a book, how good that book would be
Oh my
if those
gosh.
captains had to do
Your two
it.
your two favorite. I don't know if I could write down just two. And I'm
Well,
not the
yeah,
legends
that's it.
that I'm not even the legend that those guys are, but I don't think I could write down just two.
If you read some of these stories, you'll realize why some of them had to be in there. If you read Peter Bristow's story about how he started up in Australia and built a boat called the Avalon and started charter fishing out of there
Yeah.
and ran that boat up to the river and reefs. And he said he bounced up on a pot of blue marlin. He said it had no black marlin. Said it had to be at least 40 of them. And all of them were like 800 to like, big ones, 600, 800 granders, this, that. And he was catching them night and day, like into the evening. I forgot how many he released, but just legendary fishing story. Said he could only put one lure in the water
There were so many
because
fish.
there was so many fish. He didn't want to double hook up. He just wanted to get one at a time, get it quick. Big fish. That
Wow.
was his strategy. You'd only fish one lure.
That's listen, that's what I tell everybody. It's like, man, you don't want to put 8 lines in the water. You want the minimal you can have in the water to achieve what you're trying to achieve. Because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
end up
yeah.
spending more time clearing lines than anything else.
Hmm.
You
Yep.
spend more time clearing line. I mean, really, I look back to the day we caught 120 sailfish and how many times we had 4 lines stretched out. A couple times we had 5 lines stretched out. And I remember talking to George Solly on the Stalker. They caught 1,700 striped marlin in that month. And he's like, yeah, we only fish one daisy chain. He goes, you'd hook a fish as you're going, as you turn the boat to go get that one, you put another bait in the water to hook the second fish. Then you go, you get the release on that one, and you turn around and you bait a second one. He goes, you don't have more than two because you can always just chase one and keep going back. And he goes, it makes it so fast.
Time is everything. The seconds
Everything,
counts. The
every
seconds count.
it's funny. The first time I went to Panama back in '96 or '97, I was working for Mikey Deegan, who had fished a bunch of years on the hooker, and I had this habit that I get the hose and I'd get the water gun and I'd put it in the rod holder. He'd put it on the ground. I'd put it in the rod holder, put it down. He goes, "Hey," he goes, "You see that rod holder that hose gun that you keep putting in that rod holder? When we go to clear the spread, you go to put that rod there, you got to stop and take out that hose gun." He goes, "That's going to cost you a second." He goes, "Then you're going to turn around and you're going to try to make up that second somewhere else. And because you're speeding, you're going to lose 2 more seconds. So now you're down 3 seconds." And he goes, then you're going to do something else and you might be down another 5 seconds. Before you know it, over the course of the season, that could be an extra hour. And that could be the difference between you catching 97 fish or 103 fish in a season. And I was like, whoa, it just totally blew my mind. So you're right. It's all about saving every bit of time you can.
Absolutely. And we do that while we're fishing. But everything in fishing starts with preparation. So you know how much time we put into prep our boats for a tournament or
For
for a
everything.
day's fishing.
Ex
Yeah.
exactly.
We want to have everything organized in a fashion that we're not fumbling trying to rig up anything or trying to make anything or adjust anything. We have it just super dialed, as
No,
dialed as you could get, as dialed as you could get it. And it's a continuous learning
curve.
experience with fishing. Because if you think that you've reached the point where you don't need to learn anything in fishing, That's the
Oh,
worst position you want to be in. You're gonna get stuck mentally, and you're not gonna be able to advance your techniques, your strategies. You're not gonna advance as a fisherman if you hit that point, you know. So
yeah.
it's important not to block yourself mentally, to be creative, come up
Learn
with new stuff,
new
you know,
and have an open mind to learn it.
and have an open mind to learning from other people. Yes.
Exactly.
And not
Constantly.
close your mind and stop creating and say that that's it, that's all, that's the only way I need to fish ever again, you know?
No, no, no,
Yep.
constantly.
Constantly evolve, develop, you
You
know?
know,
We
I
see that with
listen.
the new technologies coming out, you know, new reels, lines are getting better, this is getting better.
Here's the other thing for me, being somebody older, uh, I love talking to the young guys because you guys come up with these new ideas, these new things. Hey, have you tried this? I talked to so and so, and I'm like, oh, I never thought of it like that. That
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
and it happens. I mean, even when we first started playing around with circle hooks back in the '90s, I had been practicing with him in Venezuela. Then we got to Isla Mujeres. I had left working for Billy Bohr on the topless, went to work for Eddie Herbert on the real tight, and we were playing with some circle hooks. And then Bobby Brown grabbed a couple of us on the dock. He goes, "Hey man, I'm thinking about this. Why don't you guys play with it?" So that little ringer swivel you see, that
Yes.
originated from an idea that Bobby Brown had.
Really, the little
Yeah.
O-ring rigger
Yeah,
swivel.
yeah. It wasn't an actual ring. What he said was instead of using the floss to put the X on top of the ballyhoo, he goes, why don't you create a loop in your Monel line or your copper wire and push it through the bottom so that now there's a little ring on top of the ballyhoo.
Mm. Okay.
And so we would rig them up to have just a little hole on the top of their head. Well, little by
Mm.
little, you went from that little circle of copper wire or Monel, and somebody's like,
Mm.
"Well, why don't we put instead of doing that, let's do a swivel, and then instead of that, why don't we do the ringer, the little stretchy rubber thing?" But that originally,
Mhm.
where Bobby Brown had this idea of this circle, and then he gave it to like four of
Mm.
us on the dock. You know,
Mhm.
you guys come up with a better idea. This is what I'm thinking. It
Mm.
should work. And
Because before that, how would you guys get the ballyhoo to swim?
heavy lead and the first person to come up with the circle, or not come up with it, the first person that was really instituting it heavy was Ronnie Hamlin. And he
Mm.
was using the floss, but they were using really, really heavy leads.
Right.
But they were rigging him with the floss. And once you were able to go with the ringer swivel, you can go with a lighter lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go, because of the fact that it was with that X, when you had the
Yeah,
the X on the floss, it,
I
it
know it
wasn't
with
perfect.
the yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't perfectly centered. So the best
Mm.
way to counteract that was go with a heavier lead. Instead of going
Mm.
with an eighth of an ounce, you'd go with maybe a half of an ounce. And
Mm-hmm.
that's great. But when you have a half of an ounce that a fish is trying to swallow, uh,
Mm.
you got other issues you might have to deal with, especially if you're fishing in a
Mm-hmm.
location with no wind. Now,
Mm-hmm.
uh, with these ringer swivels, you can go with an eighth ounce or a quarter of an ounce because you can
Mm.
get it to sit perfectly down up underneath the chin, and then it would always
Okay.
pull from the same center spot on top.
Okay. And they would swim, and you find they would swim as good as one that we would rig today, or
Um, The best
would it
one
be
was
able?
were those circles where Bobby
Right.
had taught us to, twist the Monel three
Yeah.
times with a circle. If you'd have a lead on it, it would swim very well. But by far, the ringer swivels they've been a game changer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
It's
just yeah. But it,
it
it developed. I see what you mean where it developed from, and then
from
they
from
they
Bobby's
took that
idea.
platform.
Bobby
Yeah.
had the idea, but again,
Mm.
as you get older, you have an idea, and then you're like, give it to the young guys, let them play with it, and see what they
Yeah, and
can
they
come
played
up
with
with.
it and they came up with that.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
yeah, that was the first time I ever saw it was Bobby Brown in Isla Mujeres.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
was on the Fonda fishing.
Because rigger swivels are amazing. I don't like the ballyhoo fish without them, you know?
Yeah, no, no. Listen, I remember when you used to have to buy those the little grommets and you had to twist your own wire on them. And that would
Oh
take
gosh.
that would dude, you'd spend 3 nights at your house in front of the TV rigging them up for the whole season. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you got to put in
Yeah, yeah.
5 hours. Now it's all done. And it's like, oh, this is perfect.
Prefabricated. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, no, it was a great idea. It was a great
Yeah,
idea by
fitting
James.
has become great with the prefab stuff like that. But yeah.
My gosh. Listen, here's
Yeah, yeah.
something you probably don't remember because you came in the circle hook era. When
Mm,
I first started going to Venezuela, we used to use 9175s. So
mm.
the live bait hooks by Mustad. Well, you had to
Okay.
hand sharpened every single one of them because they'd
Yeah.
come out dull. So,
Mm.
you know, in Venezuela for the fall, it was nothing to go through 2,000 hooks. You'd have to hand sharpen 2,000 fucking hooks, man. Now with circle hooks,
No.
you don't worry about it.
No, yeah, just like you say, just throw them away or they bust off and sink or
Yeah,
yeah. Not
there.
reusable. I wouldn't reuse one.
No, fuck. I wouldn't even nowadays with these circle hooks. I wouldn't even if I didn't catch a fish on it. If I fished it today, that hook
Hmm.
is done, man. It touched salt
Single
water.
use.
Single
Yes. Yeah,
use,
yeah,
man.
yes, yes. No,
It
not
touched.
even single use.
Yeah.
Yes, one day.
One
One
day,
day.
once they get wet, you're done.
Yeah. Yeah, don't keep them out in the salt water either. I know what you mean. Don't keep them
No.
hanging up in the sun on the deck. Keep them locked up in a little Ziploc bag in a cool kind of controlled environment. Cause
10
yeah,
to a bag, man. You only pull 10
yeah,
out. Once those 10s are out, you're done.
mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Once you pull those 10 out, you're done. They're not going back
Hmm.
in anywhere.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
no, those circle, I mean, they're great because what people, I get a lot of people that they're like, how can you just leave the hook in the fish? First of all, just like you get a splinter in your finger, your body knows how to push shit out. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two,
Mhm.
that whatever they're using to make those circle hooks with, they fucking deteriorate within a day, man.
Right, yeah, 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 they do, and they're so thin and they're so small. I don't think people understand how small
Yeah,
the circle hooks that we're using for these billfish are.
they're tiny.
That yeah, it's quite similar to a splinter, you know?
Yeah, it's no different than getting a splinter in your finger. Damn it.
Yeah,
Well, if you wait a day, it'll pop out. You know, it'll come out enough
yeah.
where you can grab it and pull it out. It might fucking be annoying for a day, you know, but
Yes, yes.
your body has a way of getting that stuff out. I mean, fish are
Mm.
amazing. Even the
Fish are
human
very
body,
resilient,
they're
yeah.
very resilient. I remember one time
Mhm.
we had a fish come up and where it was swimming, it was you had the teaser on one side and the bait on the other side. It would never eat the bait. It's like, motherfucker, that bait's hitting you. It's right next to you. Why aren't you biting it? Finally, the fish kind of made a little move, came on the inside, and finally saw the bait and ate it. So when we caught it, we realized it had no eye. It had lost an eye. So as the bait was on that one side, it couldn't see anything. It's like, why aren't you eating the bait? The bait is almost hitting you. But it had
Uh,
no eye on that side and it grew over.
that's wild.
Yeah. That's why there's so, I mean, it's just resiliency,
Yes,
you
yeah.
know? And I don't listen, I don't know if it had a damaged eye and it grew over or if it lost the eye of the socket. I'm really not sure, but it its eye was damaged and it couldn't see out of that side, and that's why it would never jump on the bait.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's stupid things like that, man. I remember one
Uh,
time in Venezuela, we caught a blue marlin, not a big one, maybe 150 pounds, and it was glassy calm. There was no wind, and the fish was straight up and down. It was just barely swimming. But I remember looking at it. I'm like, oh my God, look. it was just outside of leader length. So it was maybe like 35 feet down there, but its lower jaw was longer because there was no bill. The bill had been broken off. So the lower jaw stuck out like a snook.
Right.
Yeah, so it's amazing. They're just resilient like that.
Yep, yep. I see that all the time. With fish that they're just their healing power,
Yeah,
when
they don't know they're
sometimes I
hurt.
see, yeah, like fish get bit by other fish, you know.
They don't
I would see
care.
them missing a big section actually, and still be able to survive, regrow that skin,
Yeah,
scale,
as
and
long as they don't get infection.
mhm.
Infection is the worst thing. I mean, it's the worst thing for any animal. Even humans, before we had penicillin, infection is what got most people.
Which is so interesting because fish could be in that marine environment, that heavily moist environment, and they wouldn't get an infection once the water is clean. Like the pelagic species in the clean water,
Yeah,
I don't think they'll be prone to getting, the cookie cutter shark bites
yeah,
and
pff,
stuff like that. It
those are
doesn't really
nothing.
get infected. Yeah, it doesn't get infected much on them. Where you see infection in fish is where you would see like fish farming,
Yeah,
you know,
dirty water,
dirty water. You'd
dirty
see
water,
fish get sick
or
just because of their diet and the environment.
oh, that yeah,
Yeah.
fish farming is horrible for fish.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is. So when do you start your season now in Madeira this year? When
So
is your official kickoff?
my official kickoff was on Thursday.
That
I did my first charter here in Madeira on Thursday on
and
the Blue
now
Madeira.
are you fishing straight out? Oh, you're running the Blue Macaira.
As of right now,
Okay,
yes.
you're not running the Luna this year.
I will be eventually. I do a bunch of work on a few different boats.
Okay,
Yeah, right now, as my dad is in Canary Islands
okay,
dealing with his new boat, I'm taking care of his other two boats that he has here,
okay.
as well as Alex is doing up
Luna.
his two boats. Luna, yeah, which I usually captain. So I've captained the Luna for this would be the sixth or seventh season.
Yeah, I thought you were the captain of the Luna. That's why I asked, and I was a little shocked when you said the Blue Macari. So you now here's my question: Is that you're just running a trip? When's your season officially start? When you have customers for 4 or 5 days?
Okay, so every day we start on Sunday.
Oh, so a week from
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, and
Okay,
actually, yeah, fully booked. You might get some availability on the other boats, but I'm pretty sure Blue Macaira and Pesca Brusa are fully booked for June
okay.
and most of July. But on the other boats, you'll probably have some availability available still.
And
But
I know you're already booked for the fourth.
yes.
You haven't signed
So
up yet,
yeah.
but I know you're booked.
Yeah, so we have a client that usually fishes with us, a really nice guy. This will be his third or fourth year
Okay.
fishing it with us on the
No, that's
Luna.
good. It's good when you have nice clients like that.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, really nice
Yeah.
guy.
Am I gonna hear, am I gonna get a phone call from you this year?
A
On the
phone call, yeah.
on the fourth?
They, yes, yeah.
Okay.
God willing, you
God
will get a
willing.
phone. You will get a
Alhamdulillah.
phone call.
Alhamdulillah.
That's right. Uh,
Oh, no, that's
uh,
good. That's good. It's for me, to be honest with you, it's Christmas in July because I get to talk to all the blue marlin fishermen in the world.
hmm
You know,
Yeah,
I get to talk to everybody, man. Everybody
that's
chimes
nice.
in, everybody calls me. This is the time of year. Come May, everybody's starting to call. Hey, what's going on, Fly? How are you? I'm getting ready to sign up. I had somebody text me yesterday asking me if there's a place to weigh a fish in the Turks and Caicos. And so that's, you can see where people are starting to make their plans. And I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
Isn't it crazy last year where took it? Was it Tahiti?
Tahiti.
There you go.
I
You
know.
know, not a common place to fish,
No, he's the
but
only boat that ever fishes out of Tahiti.
I look at the boat they wanted on too.
I
Is it not
know.
something, not your conventional style sport fishing boat?
No,
But
you
what
got
a beautiful boat.
a 90-foot catamaran.
It's kind of cool. And I saw the photo of it. I liked it. It's a very cool boat.
Yeah,
Shout out to that captain. I don't know him.
you don't
Shout
know
out to him
Tommy?
because I
Tommy's a
don't know
good
Tommy.
dude, man.
Shout
Tommy's
out
a
to
really
Tommy.
cool cat. He's a Kiwi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy's a really
What?
good dude. I got a chance to go on that boat in Australia back whatever year I went, 17 or 18 down there.
Mhm.
I went over to his boat and we hung out for the afternoon, shot the shit, told stories. And it's funny because last year everybody was paying attention to Jocelyn in the Gulf because she fought that fish for 8 hours. So
Yeah.
everybody was watching, everybody was watching, and then Tommy calls me and he goes, "Hey, I got one in the boat." He gave me the measurements, whatever it was, 117. I got to look back at my numbers, 117 by 76 or something like that. And I'm like, huh? And I look and I'm like, holy shit, he texted me. He sent me a text message when he was hooked up. And I missed the text. That's why I kind of like all the text messages because everything's in right. Oh, the year that the My Victoria out of Cape Verde won. That was a text message on Instagram.
All right.
Olaf texts me. He goes, "Hey, My Victoria's hooked up next to me." I'm like, "Okay."
Mm.
And they had like 16 minutes left till lines out when they hooked up, and they caught that 950.
Didn't it take that many hours to catch it as well?
What, the My Victoria?
Yeah.
I think it took him like an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That must have been another one I
Yeah.
was
No, no, no,
thinking
no.
about.
You're thinking of the one that they caught on the third.
That's the one I was thinking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
That the one that they
That
caught
one
on
took
the
them 8 hours.
yeah, they caught it on the third and they literally got it in the boat just in time to go out fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a different one. That was a grander. That was 1,000 pounder. But
Ah,
it was not during the
right.
tournament.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, no, no, that was a totally different one. That's a totally
Yeah.
different one. So, no, listen, that's the cool thing about it. Everybody in the world's watching.
Yeah.
You got to love that shit. At least I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I quite enjoy, the when you're tournament fishing,
Yeah. The
Yeah.
updates and the just connecting with everybody. You know everybody all over the world is watching you.
Uh,
That's the best part to me
yeah, yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
love it because what I get for me in my position, I get to show it
Yeah.
off to everybody that doesn't know what we do.
True.
That's what I enjoy about it. Uh, it's so easy to show it off to everybody in the world. It's like, what do you mean you have boats
Yeah.
all around the world? I'm like, well,
Yeah.
take a look at it. These are the places they're in.
That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, when I'm fishing, like, for example, if I'm fishing the World Cup, sure,
Uh-huh.
it's great, you post you're hooked up, you know? Um, and everybody's watching. Yeah, everybody's paying attention to that. But when you're on board, I'm gonna be super focused, locked in on what's happening on board. I'm just gonna hit you
Yeah,
hooked up.
that's it.
Bang. Next thing you know, bang, a picture of the fish on the back deck. I just as to not let your mind stray away from what's
Yeah,
actively happening on
I
the,
don't
you know.
when I'm fishing, I
Yeah.
don't necessarily like I don't like to listen to the radio. I don't like to
Mm.
look at the live scores. I don't care about
Hmm.
what anybody else is doing. I only care what I'm doing.
Yeah. When I fish, I'm a lot like that too. I get a lot in my mind.
Yeah, I don't want
Like
to be
in,
paying
you know.
attention to what somebody else is doing.
And I get a lot in my mind too. I say like listening to radio or
Yeah,
even having a conversation. Where we're
yeah,
trying to, maybe figure out certain things throughout the day because we're monitoring so many things. You know what I mean? That's why it's so mentally exhausting, you
exactly.
know, because we're monitoring so many. It's like I'm monitoring everything that I think I need to monitor. I need to start back from scratch because it changes and you're taking data on changes.
Yeah. And
So, you
then
know,
then what about all the other things you got to worry about outside of today? You got to worry about, okay, when's my next charter coming in? Did he ask me for something? When do I got to get fuel? There's so many other things that
mm,
you're thinking about. Oh, my one guy just canceled. I got to fill in those 3 days. So even if you try
yeah,
not to think about it, it's still in there.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, the logistics of the fishing and boat maintenance and stuff, yeah. I do pass
Exactly.
my mind on it time to time, or even let my mind wander time to time when I'm fishing. But I'm doing it professionally, the people who come charter fishing with me in Madeira, they pay a
Uh,
lot of money to do it, you
exactly.
know. So I don't even want to waste 1 second of their time, pondering, so I would essentially like hyperfixate on it, for 8 hours, which
That
is
as it should be. I mean, that's
as
what
it
you're
should
doing,
be.
man.
Yes,
You're in
yeah.
charge of catching them the biggest fish imaginable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But of course, yeah, you do have to monitor logistics stuff like your clients coming in, your fuel situation,
On
just
top of all the,
generally.
yeah, on top of all your fishing
Mhm.
stuff,
Yep, yep, yeah.
little things, but listen, it adds up because there's a bunch of shit going on.
For
So,
sure.
Curtis, we've been talking for 2 hours. How do people get a hold of you if they want to call you?
Um,
Do you have a
so
website? Do you have an Instagram?
yeah, so I'm Curtis De Silva one on Instagram and Curtis De Silva on Facebook. You could contact. I could send you my contact
I have
information if
your
you prefer.
contact, but I mean, general,
Yeah.
like, do you have a website, but or just leave it your
Yeah.
social media?
Yeah, no, I mean, you could get to me, you could book me through the Captain Frothy website, so my dad's webpage or whatever, you
Okay.
could get a hold of me through this. So
And
basically,
also your
essentially the
social
same
media.
contact information. Yeah, my social media if you want it personally or my personal phone number.
Perfect. No, no, don't
But
put your
bas
phone number on here because next thing you know, you're going to have like 243 women from all over the world calling you, say, man, I'd like a nice little island boy like him with an accent like that.
uh,
I can't,
I'll
listen,
reply to all of them. I would,
you, you have a busy fishing season. I do
yeah.
not want to hear from your father saying, that little son of a bitch. He wasn't paying attention while he was fishing. He was answering all the text messages from all the girls.
You understand? Yeah, I need to lock in. And our season starts now. So it's going to be 3 months every day.
I
I've
know.
already been 2 months every day in the boatyard building these boats. I'm physically exhausted now. I could feel I'm going to be mentally exhausted coming up,
No, but
But
listen, no girls contact him until September.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Curtis, hold on right there for a second. Everybody that's listening, thank you so much for your time today. Check out Captain Curtis De Silva on his social media pages, and everybody else, we will catch you later.